Hi, everybody. Welcome in. Excuse me. Excuse me. I got a frog in my throat. Welcome, everybody. You've been making your log cabins and all your variations, and now you're wondering, what can I really do with log cabins other than just, put them all together? Well, this is the video for you because I have created a block that is all log cabins, and it creates a beautiful star, and I call it the shining star. You can see it right behind me, and that's what we're going to discuss today in our week 4 of May block of the month for 2023. So it is the 4th week of May. Normally we would be having a live, but because it's also Memorial Day weekend, and I hope you guys are one of the 39 million people out having a good time traveling and doing stuff. I hope you're one of those. That's the numbers we heard on the news, that 39 million Americans are out there having vacations and stuff this weekend. So I hope you're all having a great time on Memorial Day and having a good weekend. We think of this as the unofficial start to summer, I guess, as well. So even though summer doesn't start till almost the end of June, it's that time of year, right? So I hope everyone's having a good weekend. And again, hi, everybody. I'm Diana from Sew in Common. I'm the owner, the educator, and the designer. And so today we are doing a regular video rather than a live video because I wanted to make sure that you all had something that you could watch when you wanted. We'll wrap this month up, and then you can be having a great time out for the holiday weekend. So again, we're going to talk about the Shining Star block made from the log cabin design sets from the May block of the month. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. But there are some catch-up things I want to go over with you from last week. Well, let's see, was it last week? No, it was 2 weeks ago. We did the log cabin variation of the courthouse steps. And I mentioned to you that it might be interesting if you play with those outer pieces. So let's just flip our camera over right now and take a look here. So this is our courthouse steps. If we remember, we start with the center square, any color you like. I kept mine red, like we do with the traditional log cabin. But remember, any color you like. And then you do up and down, side to side, up and down, side to side, up and down, side to side. And that gives you your courthouse steps. Typically, you have one colorway on the sides and one colorway on the top and bottom. So however you want to do that is fine. You could do these with solids or with prints. I chose, except for my center red square, everything here is a print. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different prints in this square. And this is also a really nice square to do all scrappy as well. Do each and every one of those different. It could look really good that way. But what we do in this one is the 10, 11, 12, and 13th pieces. We just keep going around in our colorway that we did before, that we've been doing in our block. But I mentioned that what if we stopped when we got to 10, 11, 12, and 13 and did those all in the same color? So we definitely get a courthouse step look in the center. But what this is giving us is more of a sashing, kind of a self-sashing. I did a whole video on this for you earlier in the week. Did I do a whole video or did I do a shorts video? I think I only did a shorts video on this for you. But if you do these last 4 all in the same fabric, you're going to get a self-sashing idea, so that when you put these together, you have kind of it would be kind of wide, but it would be a double wide. So it would be, instead of this wide, it would be double that. But you'd get a nice sashing, and then you'd get these little blocks that are your courthouse steps in the second. I think that could be really pretty. Or do every block differently. Do your courthouse step in the center and do your 4 outers in a different fabric, you know, all the same, but different. Each block would be different. That could be really pretty as well. Or all shades of a same color, anything like that. So traditional courthouse step, a little variation on the traditional courthouse step. And of course, you're the quilter, so whatever it is you like, right? Because it's your quilt, it's your block, and you can do what you want. So I told you I would show you that, and I wanted to. And I picked a whole different color scheme this time for this one because, you know, as much as I keep telling you, like, these are my colors, I'm also really partial to purples and greens. I think they're really beautiful together. So, alrighty. So that is that. Oh, the one other thing I'll catch you up on. So here's been my box that I've been saving all of my scraps in from this month, from all of our log cabins and the variations. So I've got them all in here. Another one I want to tell you about is I got some fabric and it had a ribbon on it. I keep those as well because I could cut that out and put that in like I do with the salvage. So you could do that as well. But now that this box is kind of full with all of this month's scraps, I'm going to empty these all into a zippy bag that's kind of over in storage. And then I'll have a clean little box here that I can start putting my scraps from my next sets of blocks and my next projects in. And that's kind of how I do it. That way I don't have a big bag sitting here while I'm working. I just have this little box. So mine's ready to be put into the other piece because we're going to be using those later in the year for a whole new cool quilt project that we're going to do, a new technique and everything. Alrighty, I think that's the catch up on the stuff for the week. But now to wrap up our whole month of May where we've been doing our variations. So we just saw our courthouse step. We had two other variations. So we have our original log cabin square. And then we had its twin, and its twin is right there. Twin is basically, it's the mirror image of it. One goes clockwise, one goes anti-clockwise. So the twin was the first variation. Then we had the courthouse step variation. That was variation number 2. And then last week we had actually it's been the middle of this past week. We had our final variation, which is the chevron. And isn't that a pretty block? I love it. So what I did when I was designing the pattern for the end of the month, and you'll be able to get this pattern over on the website. The pattern is $1. So if you want this and you want to be able to do it, you can grab it over at the website for just $1. And so you will have to have the free. You know that all your block of the month patterns, the design sets, are free this year. So grab those and then spend the $1 and get yourself this pattern because you're going to love it. It's super easy to do, and it really, I thought, turned out super cool, if I must say. So I'm calling it the Shining Star because when you use a chevron block in here and you put like a yellow or something in these two areas, do you see from a distance how it looks like it's shining outwards? And can you see our 8-point star there? So we've been talking about stars almost all year. We've been doing different star blocks of some nature. And so I thought, well, why reinvent the wheel? Let's keep that theme going. And so by using the log cabin and the log cabin twin and the chevron, I've created this Shining Star block, which is an 8-point star. And if you look at it, you could call that, well, probably any sawtooth, any of those 8-point stars we did last month would fit this kind of an idea. But it's an 8-point star with these radiating pieces coming out in the 4 corners. Okay, and you can get that pattern, like I said, over at the website, and you can get all of your free block of the month patterns there too. You know that if you've been following along with us. If you're new to us, every block of the month design set for 2023 is completely free to all of you to grab and use, because here at Sew in Common, we don't quilt just by sewing things together on our sewing machine. We piece our blocks on our embroidery machine. So it's a whole fun new way to do your piecing. And then, of course, you can finish it on your embroidery machine. And I'll have this finished probably in a week or so. The block is finished, but what I'm going to do to finish it is I'm going to add a border to it, and then I'm going to quilt it because I'm going to use it as a wall hanging, because this ends up being, before I add my border, that's a 20-inch square. So it's a nice size for a wall hanging spot in my house, or it's also a nice size because I have a square dining table. I could put it right in the middle as a table topper. So you could do something like that as well. So you can do all kinds of things. Now, with that being 20 inches, if you did 3 of them across, that gives you 60 inches. And if you do 3 of them down, that gives you 60 inches. So you could do a 60 by 60 inch quilt with these. Do each shining star in a whole different color scheme. It would be so pretty, you guys, and it would be so simple to do. I would, if I were going to do that, I would probably put like a plain white sashing between each of my stars. That way you could see each star nice and beautiful, and then do a border all the way around it, and then quilt it and bind it. That could be really pretty. And if you like the log cabin ideas, play around with them, because this was not too difficult to design. And I know that people are going to look at that and go, holy cow, you pieced all of those. And if I had pieced that by hand, I probably would have had to start piecing it back in March, maybe, because log cabins aren't quick when you piece them on a sewing machine. You've got to be really accurate with them. They're super fun to do. They're not hard to do, but you've got to be accurate with them. You've got to do a lot of cutting. I was able to piece all of those and get all of those done on my embroidery machine in less than a week, guys. So they go really quickly. You could put together, if you put your head down, managed your colors and all, you could knock out a quilt easily in a month if you wanted to do that. So, you know, I'm not somebody who likes this whole idea about doing things fast, but if you want something by the end of July, end of June, and start now, you could easily do that. But get your pattern for the for this and the topper over at the website. All right, that's this month wrapped up. Now, I had asked you all for questions and nobody sent me any. I was surprised because usually I get some, but again, it's a holiday weekend and this was not difficult this month. So I'm sure a lot of you have things under control. However, as always, if you need to get a hold of me and you need to, hang on a second, I'm going to do something here. Yep. Okay. If you need to get a hold of me and ask a question, you know you can. Just contact me at support@sewincommon.com. There you go. Okay. And that will be quick and easy way for you to get a hold of me. And I'm around all weekend. Tomorrow or today, we're probably going to go and have a little bit of a picnic or something, but I'm around. So I'll be answering emails and stuff if you need me, or anytime you need me. So support@sewincommon.com. All righty. All right. So I didn't get questions. That's good, actually. Unless you guys aren't doing your blocks. I mean, I think that's great. If you don't need the help, that's super. But I'm always here if you do. Alrighty. Next week, we start June. You guys are going to love June. You're going to love it because June's block it's pieced the same, but depending on how you color it, you can get 2 versions of this kind of a block, and it is a very old block. Historically, just this pattern, not as a quilt, but the pattern for June is centuries, and I'm talking centuries, like let's really go back in time, old. And it's a quilt block that's been around forever as well. You guys are going to love it. So that starts next week, our first weekend in June. Now, here's an announcement. The first weekend in June, of course, is our first Sunday is our new June pattern. But the second Sunday in June, I'm not going to be here. We're going on a little vacation, Dave and I, and we're going to go to a family reunion to see my my aunts and my uncles and my cousins that I have not seen in years, who are so close to my heart. I'm just like bursting at the seams. I just cannot wait to see them. But that means I'm going to be in Paducah, Kentucky. And you guys know what's in Paducah, Kentucky, the National Quilt Museum, right? And so we are going to go there, and I'm going to do some videos and stuff. And those will come out in that new week. So the first Sunday video is going to come out next week on time. And the second one will come out on time, even though I'm not here, because I'm going to do it earlier and post it so that it will schedule to post for you guys. And then that next week, when we're finally home, probably at the end of that next week, because we don't really get home until Wednesday, I'm going to have some great videos. And if I can do something live from the museum on that second Sunday, just kind of be ready for maybe me to pop up for a live video that second Sunday as well. You'll have a regular video, but stay tuned, because I might be able to, if they'll let me do it live, I might be able to do a little live for you from the museum in Paducah. Okay. So I think you guys are going to love that as well. Anything else I need to tell you guys? No, I think we've wrapped up everything for this month. I will tell you, I'm gonna put those are part of my notes for June. I'm covering the name and I'm covering my little drawing for how I sketched it out, but I want you guys to know, I think you're gonna love June. June is not a star block, but you could consider it to be a good replacement for a star block, but it's more something to do with nature a little bit, the way it looks. Okay. Alrighty. All right, everybody, have a great week. Go get your Shining Star Block pattern at the website and all of your free blocks of the month. Post your photos over at our Facebook page, Sew in Common. And until next time, guys, go sew life beautiful. Go make some beautiful quilts. Oh gosh. Now I have my stilettos right here. I'll put that down so I don't get hurt. Go sew life beautiful, everybody. And until next time, bye for now.